Welcome back, everybody. Derrick Sue, your 2022 Oakland mayoral candidate. Well, today is the official start of fall. So with the start of fall, we also start thinking about flu vaccines and flu shots for the winter. And so I know that they're available because when I was up the street at CVS picking up my prescription, they asked if I wanted to get my flu vaccine because they'd seen historically in their computers that I've received my flu shot from them in the past. If it wasn't them, then it was my primary care doctor. So every year I've been getting my flu shot right around October, November at the latest. And so that way, when the flu season hits, usually about Thanksgiving time through the holidays into the New Year, and the coldest part of the New Year, which is January, that's where a lot of people get sick. And so also that coincides with my COVID Pfizer shot, because while I was there, they didn't have record that I had my Pfizer shots already, because they asked me if I needed a COVID-19 shot. I said no, I already have it, and I showed them my card here when I got my flu vaccine shots back in March. I got the second Pfizer shot March 31st, and then 14 days later, which was the time period that they want you to let it build strength. And then on the 15th, as you remember, I started a little protest up in the Oakland Hills. And so that allowed me to have the immunity, or the confidence that I had enough immunity to avoid COVID-19 contraction. And so a little more than a month and a half ago, even though I had both my shots and I've cleared the incubation period, whatever they want to call it, I became a breakthrough COVID Delta variant patient. And so because I had the shots earlier, back in March, that probably attributed to how I got through all the symptoms and everything. And it wasn't bad. It was verified that it was COVID Delta variant and not COVID-19, the standard one, because I did have breathing. And for a lot of you, you know that I, early on in COVID, I worked with Alameda County Healthcare, and I was doing street outreach to the homeless camps and checking for COVID through the homeless population. And so I knew what to look for. Suddenly, about 2 months ago, you remember there was an event here that caused a lot of stress and anxiety, and so that weakened my immune system because I didn't focus on my health and my mental well-being, and we lost control here, and I came down with COVID Delta. Suddenly, here's how I knew I had Delta, the COVID. Number one, we knew that the body temperature would be elevated by 3 to as much as 6 degrees higher than normal. Mine was right at the threshold of 3 degrees higher than what I normally run. Also, the big clue was that morning when I woke up. I usually make a pot of coffee, and I can smell the coffee brewing in the coffee pot. Well, my entire sense of smell and taste completely disappeared. I couldn't smell the coffee brewing, nor could I even taste the coffee when I drank it. So that gave me more concern. Plus, I had some body aches. I fatigued very easily. That gave me the final clues when I went in for the test. Then it was verified. Then I was told that I needed to quarantine. Once I quarantined, I could go to the Comfort Inn here in Oakland that's a quarantine site for the unhoused folks, or I had a few other options. The option that I ended up with was I was going to self-quarantine, number one, because I have a pet. I have the dog now, and so I can't go away for any length of time without the dog being fed, let out, watered, all the things that you need to do. And so I couldn't take the Comfort Inn option, not that I would have, but anyway, came back here, quarantined for an additional 11 days, because my illness lasted about 3 days, where I didn't have any sense of smell or taste. My body temperature was elevated. I still have to deal with a little bit of the fatigue issue right now, which is still ongoing. But that could be attributed to some of the medications that I've changed to for some other issues. So it's not exactly clear on the fatigue part. But all the symptoms went away after, by the 4th day, they were all completely gone. And so I know that I was tested again, and it came back negative, and all my tests since have come back negative. So during that 14-day period, I canceled all of my interviews, also all of the projects that I have going at the time. And so right now I'm kind of playing catch up, and then also we're dealing with COVID Delta affecting our volunteers, who have all said that they were not going to participate in our October event, which we were going to build tiny home Conestoga Village right here, along with the solar and everything. So that's been put on hold because of what's going on with Delta and the uncertainty. Even with vaccinations going, there's still a lot of concerns, and a lot of our volunteers, they have families with young children, so they also don't want the possibility, if it started in their household, to bring it out into the public. So it works both ways, and we support those decisions. And so we're going to continue on. The monies that have been raised in the GoFundMe, that's still going as planned. We're going to be purchasing those materials and then just storing them here. Number one, we have Jerry, who's moved out now. She's full-time in her new Project Home Key apartment in Hayward. And then we have our other lady, Audrey. She's going through some programs right now, and so somebody comes to check on her place. And also, we don't know what's going to happen in the future with whether she's going to stay here or this individual is going to continue to assist her into more supportive housing. And so we're waiting to see the events unfold for that. But anyway, I encourage everybody to get their flu, or not just the flu shot. Get your flu shot, but also go get your Pfizer COVID shot. Go get your Medina, or J&J. One of the things that I have some concerns about, while COVID is still running wild here, Alameda County is already talking about closing down the quarantine hotels. The Comfort Inn will be closed down in December, according to this current plan that I found out about this morning. And so there's those concerns, because we have a lot of folks that are still COVID positive. We're still having COVID positivity, and it's hit the homeless community very hard. So anyway, those are concerns that we're working on and addressing. So much is happening out here in the streets, and COVID is just making things more difficult for us. So thanks for joining me today. We'll be right back.